Hello techies, welcome to DevOps Lessons. In the previous lesson, we learned about what is DevOps and why DevOps needed. Let me explain you again. DevOps is a collaboration and understanding culture between software development and operations. DevOps is not a tool, not technology. It is an approach or culture that makes things better. DevOps is a software development and delivery process. For more information, please watch previous video about what is DevOps and why DevOps needed. In this lesson, we will learn about DevOps concepts and most popular DevOps tools using by DevOps engineers. Let me explain you a little bit about the process. Customer or client provides the requirements or features for a software. The development team writes codes to implement a new feature or fix a bug. This new code is deployed to the development environment and generally tested by the development team, nothing but unit testing. The new code is deployed to a QA environment where it is verified by the testing team. The code is then provided to the operations team for deploying it to the production environment. The operations team is responsible for managing and maintaining the code. If you observe, there is a gap between customers and the developers. Agile methodology fills the gaps between customers and the developers. In the same way, if you observe, there is a gap between developers and the IT team, nothing but IT operations team. DevOps fills the gaps between developers and the IT operations. Now, we will see what are the different concepts provided by the DevOps. It is very important to understand the need of various concepts and tools in DevOps culture which are similar to development cycle, increased deployment frequency, and use of automation. These are the abilities or concepts provided by DevOps. One is continuous integration. Second one, continuous deployment or continuous delivery, that is nothing but CD. Continuous testing, continuous monitoring, and finally continuous feedback. Now I will explain you one by one about these concepts. First of all, we will see about the continuous integration. Continuous integration, CI, is a development practice of automating the integration of code, changes, or commit the code from multiple developers to contribute and collaborate into a single shared repository for multiple times a day by multiple developers. The CI process is comprised of automatic tools that assert the new code's correctness before integration. Each integration can be verified by an automated build and automated test. A source code version control is the crux of the CI process. The version control system is also supplemented with the other checks like automated code quality test, syntax style review tools, and many more. When you combine the process with automated testing, continuous integration can enable your code to be dependable. In the recent years, CI has become a best practice for software development and is guided by a set of key principles. Among them are revision control, build automation, and automated testing. Additionally, continuous deployment and continuous delivery had developed as best practices for keeping your application deployable at any point or even pushing your main code base automatically into the production environment whenever a new change are brought into it. This allows your team to move fast while keeping high quality standards that can be checked automatically. Now we will see about continuous deployment and continuous delivery. First of all, we will see about the continuous deployment. Continuous deployment is closely related to continuous integration and make your application deployable at any point or even automatically releasing to a test or production environment with the latest version of source code. Now, continuous delivery. Continuous delivery is the practice of keeping your code base deployable at any point, Beyond making sure your application passes automated tests and have all the configuration which are necessary to push into the production. Many teams push code changes that pass the automated test into a test or production environment immediately to ensure a fast development loop. If you observe, continuous delivery and continuous deployment are used interchangeably often. However, there is a small difference between them. Continuous delivery is a process of deploying an application in any environment in an automated fashion and providing continuous feedback to improve its quality. Continuous deployment, on the other hand, is all about deploying an application with the latest changes to the production. Now we'll see about the continuous testing. Continuous testing is defined as a software testing type that involves a process of testing early, testing often, testing everywhere, and automated. It is a strategy of evaluating quality at every step of the continuous delivery process. The main goal of the continuous testing is to test early and test often. The process involves stakeholders like developer, DevOps, QA, and operation systems. Continuous testing is the process of executing automated tests as part of the software delivery pipeline in order to obtain feedback on the business risk associated with the software release candidate as repeatedly as possible. It evolves and extends test automation to address the increased complexity and pace of modern application development and delivery. Continuous testing was originally proposed as a way of reducing waiting time for the feedback to developers by introducing development environment triggered tests as well as the more traditional developer triggered tests. For continuous testing, the scope of testing extends from validating bottom-up requirements or user stories to assessing the system requirements associated with overarching business goals. Now we will see the continuous monitoring. Continuous monitoring is the process and technology used to detect compliance and risk issues associated with the organization, financial, and the operational environment. The financial and the operational environment consists of people, processes, and systems working together to support efficient and effective operations. Continuous monitor required to incorporate monitoring across each phase of your DevOps and IT operations life cycles. It is even integrates across the ITSM and SIEM tools of your choice to help track issues and incidents within your existing IT processes. Continuous monitoring is the backbone of end-to-end delivery pipeline and open source monitoring tools. It is desirable to monitor at most every stage in order to have transparency about all the processes. It also helps us to troubleshoot very quickly. Now we'll see what is continuous feedback. Continuous feedback is essential to application release and deployment because it evaluates the effect of each release on the user experience and then reports that evaluation back to the DevOps team to improve the future releases. I hope now you understand what are the different concepts provided by the DevOps. Now we'll see what are the different tools using by the DevOps in different phases. First of all, if you see there's the plan tools are available in the DevOps. If you see there's the Jira, Confluence, ServiceNow, Trello, Slack. These are all the plan tools providing by the using by the DevOps engineers. But the most popular one is the Jira. Next one, code or developing tools. If you see Gerrit, Git, GitHub, Bitbucket Server, GitLab, Helix Code, Subversion, Calathea, Visual Studio Team Foundation Server, these are all the popular tools using in DevOps for the developing as the developing tools. Now, if you see build tools, Gradle, Maven, Apache Ant, Visual Studio, these are all the build tools using by the DevOps engineers. Next, test. For automating tests, we are using Selenium, Apache JMeter, JUnit, Cucumber, Appium, Hewlett Packard Enterprise. These are all the DevOps tools which are popular in the industry. Integration tools. We are having Bamboo, Jenkins, Hudson, Travis CI, TeamCity. In all these tools, Jenkins is the most popular one integrated tool which are using in the IT industry. Now, if you see, there are the deploy and operate tools. We're having very popular tools in the deployment or operate tools. If you see Ansible, Kubernetes, Puppet, Docker, SaltStack, Chef, these are all the tools which are used by the DevOps engineers to deploy and operate any code in the IT industry. Now we will see the monitoring tools. We're having Sensu, New Relic, Splunk, Nagios, Datadog, Prometheus. These are all the monitoring tools which we have in the IT industry using by the DevOps engineers. I will explain you one by one on what are the popular DevOps tools which we are having in the IT industry. If you see, these are all the popular tools which we have in the IT industry. Among them, few of the tools are using by the DevOps engineers. One is Jira, second one Git for the version control, Gradle, Maven, Selenium, Jenkins, Kubernetes, Ansible, Docker, Puppet, Chef, Nagios, Splunk, Prometheus, SonarQube, Nexus, Nginx. These are all the popular DevOps tools used by the DevOps engineers. I will explain you one by one about these tools in the later part of the session.